listeners, my name is Alyssa Bowman and I'm a physical therapist working at ActivePT. I put together a strength training program for you guys to help improve your endurance with dance, prevent injury risk, and improve your strength and performance with recitals. So each program that I've put together, I want to talk through the exercises in each and the structure of how we will be performing these. So stay tuned and I will walk you through that. So first exercise group that we are going to be doing is strength training for your hamstrings, glutes, and quads. We're going to go through each exercise on that with some key pointers on how to have proper form on them. Use a 10 or 5 pound weight. Please use just your body weight if you feel like the weight that you have in your hands is too challenging or you can't get to the rep amount for each exercise. Bulgarian split squat, you're going to put your foot up onto something at home. That can be a couch, an ottoman, a couple books, just something so your back leg is elevated. Front leg is going to be on the ground, 2 weights on each side, and you are going to lunge down and push back up, trying to get to about a 90-degree angle at both of your knees. From the front, if I'm doing a lunge, make sure that your knee is not going on the inside of your foot. You're going to want to make sure that your kneecap stays in line with about your second toe so that you're staying in good alignment. The next exercise we're going to do is a goblet squat. Goblet squat will involve you holding a dumbbell, just one in front of your chest. Feet are going to be at a comfortable distance. That can be hip width apart or a little bit wider. You can keep your toes forwards or pointed out. Switch it up if it doesn't feel comfortable one way or the other. It truly is based on your anatomy where your feet should feel comfortable with the squat. So as you come down, you're going to squat so your butt goes lower than your knees. Make sure that you're getting a deep squat in, squat down. Think about squeezing your butt as you come back up. The exercise that we're going to do is a glute bridge. You're going to put 2 10-pound dumbbells on your pelvis, and then you are going to first squeeze your butt and then lift your hips up off the ground, hold for about 5 seconds, and then slowly lower back down. You can also raise your toes off the ground and just push your heels in to help you get a better glute contraction. Next exercise that we will do is going to be called a sumo squat pulse. Essentially, you are going to be in second position, legs wide. You're going to squat down so your hips are about the same level as your knees, and you are going to do small squats as you go. You're not going to come up all the way. You're going to keep it to a very small pulse. Again, make sure that your knees are pushed out. Don't let them come in towards midline. Curtsy squat is an exercise that essentially you are doing a curtsy, so your back leg is crossing behind you. You're going to bend both of your knees and come back up. I want you to just do all of your repetitions of your curtsy squat on one side first. Once you hit that 10 to 15 rep amount, then I want you to switch and go to the other side. Same thing with this one. Make sure knee isn't dropping in. Make sure that your torso is staying upright and you're not leaning with it at all. The last exercise of the circuit are jump squats. So jump squats, same form as you had with the goblet squat. So you are going to squat down, then you're going to jump up. I want you to think about pushing through your toes as hard as possible and get a very soft landing. The next circuit that we're going to be doing is going to be strength training for your hamstrings, adductors, hip flexors, and core. All of these are going to be really important to train so that you avoid muscle strain while dancing. All right, first exercise of the circuit is going to be a bridge walkout. This is working on eccentric strengthening of your hamstrings. This is going to be really important for when you are kicking, that you will not get any hamstring strains or muscle injury while doing those. So what you'll do is you are going to do that bridge like we did before. Bridging up here, weight is going to be in the heels of your feet. You are going to take small steps out to about as far as you can without letting your butt hit the ground. Hold for a couple seconds. Take 2 big steps back in. So again, walking out, nice and small. hold for a couple seconds, step back in. Next exercise is going to be a hip adduction strengthening exercise. It's going to be for your adductors, muscles on the inside of your thigh. So you are going to lay on your side, cross one leg over, the other leg you are going to lift and lower slowly. Next exercise we're going to do is going to be for your core and your hip flexors. What you are going to do first is you are going to try to flatten your back against the ground. So essentially I'm rocking my hip bones up towards my rib cage. Now I've activated my core. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to bring both of my legs up in the air, keeping my back flat, and I'm going to march my legs up and down slowly with control. If you feel any popping in your hip flexor in the front of your hip and it is not painful, you can keep doing this exercise. That is a common occurrence, especially with us dancers. If it is a painful pop, I would discontinue doing your legs elevated, and you can try doing a march in this position, and that should be more comfortable for you. Next exercise is going to be the dead bug exercise. This exercise, you're still going to utilize that same pelvic tilt, so you're flattening your back against the ground. Legs are going to be elevated in the air, shoulders are going to be up, and what you will do is you are going to extend one leg, and your opposite arm will extend over your head, like so. Make sure that you're trying to keep your back flat as you do this. Try not to let it get pulled off of the ground. Next exercise we have is a prone plank. This is a plank on your elbows, and you are going to be in a straight line position. Make sure that your back stays flat, butt stays tucked under. Do not let your belly sink towards the ground and have a sway back position. Make sure that you're pulling up and holding that appropriately throughout the entire time. Next exercise is going to be the side plank. So similar to prone plank, but now you're going to be on your side, pushing up, hand on your hip. You'll hold this position, make sure that you are again in a straight line and you're not dipping down towards the floor. Last exercise of the circuit is going to be mountain climbers. You're going to be in a tall plank position and you are going to run your knees towards your chest. Make sure that you stay stable through your shoulders and push your hands away from the ground. Don't let yourself collapse this way. The third circuit on the sheet is high intensity interval training, and this is Tabata style. So Tabata is typically a period of time where you do the exercise, you just do it throughout that entire time until your timer goes off, and then you have a certain period of rest. For this one, you are going to be doing 40 seconds of exercise, 20 seconds of rest. I put on the first page of your sheet that you can download a timer called the WOD timer. This will help you efficiently time your Tabata workouts and your EMOM workouts as you go through them. First exercise of your Tabata is going to be body weight squats. So you are going to try to move as quickly as possible, try to get as many squats as you can in the 40 seconds. Same form as before, comfortable, hip width apart or a little bit wider. Toes can be forward or turned out slightly, whatever feels the best on your body. And again, butt should be lower than the knees. So you're going to squat down here, come up. This is going to be a lot quicker to try and get as many reps as possible. For the second exercise, we're going back to mountain climbers. For the third exercise, we are back to jump squats. Again, we're going to be moving a lot quicker. Try to get as many jump squats as you can in the 40 seconds. Next exercise in the Tabata is going to be walking lunges. So find an area in your house where you can do a few repetitions walking, and then if you don't have a large space, you can just turn around and go the other directions. So here, you're gonna squat or lunge all the way down till your knee touches the floor. Do not bounce your knee off the floor, just lightly touch it down, come up. Make sure that your front knee does not pass over your toes. So you're gonna wanna make sure that your body weight goes straight down. Next exercise of your Tabata is going to be a burpee. Multiple different ways to do a burpee. A full burpee is typically where you go all the way down, touch your chest with the ground, and come back up. If you aren't familiar with burpees or first time that you've been doing them, I would recommend just doing a modified version of a burpee. So we'll just go into a high plank, but we won't go all the way down to the ground. So I'll show you. So first what you're gonna do is you're gonna jump up, come down to the ground. You're going into this plank position like you are for mountain climbers. Come back into a squat, jump up again. So if we're going faster with it, we are here. Now we are on to our EMOM, high intensity circuit. EMOM stands for every minute on the minute. So this is a little bit different than the Tabata because you'll have a minute to do the prescribed amount of exercise. Say that 10 repetitions of a squat only takes you 30 seconds, then you would have 30 seconds to rest. If that same 10 repetitions of squat took you 45 seconds, you would only have 15 seconds to rest. So for the first exercise of the EMOM, we are going to be doing lunge jumps. So you've done a few different lunging movements so far through the strength training. All of the same form, cues, and technique are going to still apply for this, but now you're going to be doing a lunge jump. So what you will do is you are going to go down into your lunge position. You're going to jump up and switch your legs. And with your arms, oppose the arm with your leg. So if my left leg's coming forward, my right arm will be coming forward. As of your EMOM, you are going to be doing a single leg bridge. So we've done a couple different bridging movements where we're coming up this way. This time, you are going to have one leg up in the air, other leg's going to be down. You're going to do that same bridging movement, but now we are biasing one side a lot more. For this exercise, we're doing 30 seconds on each leg, so you don't have to count this time, just watch the timer, do as many reps as you can on one leg. Once it hits 30 seconds, you're going to switch to the other. So leg is up, make sure you're squeezing your butt. If you feel this in your low back, make sure that you lower the height of your bridge. This should all be a glute and hamstring exercise. You should not be feeling it above the waistline. So make sure that you lower the height of your bridge so that you do not feel it there. Exercise that we'll be doing, we're going to do full body sit-ups. So you are going to start with your body flat on the ground. Arms are going to be up towards the ceiling, and you are going to roll your body up. Arms will be still pointing at the ceiling. When you come up in your sit-up, they will not be pointing forward. So fingertips should always stay pointed at the ceiling. Make sure that you control this down and back up, but you're still trying to move efficiently so you get the 20 reps done for the minute is up. Now I'm going to show you how to do a Romanian deadlift. A Romanian deadlift is just a stiff leg deadlift. It's a deadlift where you're not bending your knees. Super important that you understand how to do a hip hinge first. So if I show you how to do a hip hinge from the side, this movement is going to be a movement where my body comes forward, my butt moves backward, but my back stays neutral. So as I'm doing this, I feel a pretty good stretch through the backs of my legs because I'm staying stable through the core and through the back. If you move through this and you don't feel any pull in the legs, maybe you feel some back pain, you are not doing it correctly, and I would recommend taking this exercise out. Use a mirror at home, and you can watch yourself first to make sure that you can maintain this position. As I'm coming back up, I am squeezing my glutes to help me stand back upright again. I am not using my low back to arch. If you are struggling with this movement, I do offer free 15-minute screenings. Please come in, or if you're somebody who struggled with back pain for a long time, or just have had recurrent episodes of back pain, please come in and see me, because if this is something that you cannot figure out, this would be really important for you to learn moving forward. So again, if you have any back pain with this exercise, please take this out of the circuit, and instead of doing the deadlifts, you could interchange that with doing just some body weight squats instead for the same amount of reps. But I would recommend seeing me if back pain is a common issue for you. So once you figure out how to do your hip hinge technique, then you can move into your Romanian deadlift, otherwise known as an RDL. So my feet are about hip width apart. Weights are going to be in contact with my thighs. I'm going to do that same hip hinge movement, and I'm going to keep the weights in contact with my legs the whole time. I'm not letting them come forward this way. They're staying in contact, and my weight is in the heels of my feet as I go through this. exercise of this EMOM are ab bicycles. I'm sure this is something you guys have done before, but hands will be behind your head and you are going to straighten one leg and bring your elbow towards the bent leg. So you'll be here and here. And you'll just keep switching off. Again, trying to keep back flat on the ground. Don't let it arch off. Last portion of our strength training is an arm circuit. So upper body strength is still going to be really important if you do any moves that involve putting weight through your hands, or if you participate in any of the acro classes, having good upper body strength is going to be really important. First exercise of your arm circuit is going to be a lateral raise. What you're going to do is hold onto a weight, and with your arm, all of your arm exercises, you can do weight from 1 pound to 10 pounds. I did put ideas of different at-home items that you could use for this. Please make sure that you're only using a weight that you can complete the full amount of reps with. Don't use a weight that's too heavy, because that can be very stressful to the shoulders if you're going too heavy with this. So what you're gonna do first for your lateral raise, again, comfortable stance with your legs, weights, dumbbell heads are going to be forward, and you are just gonna raise them straight up from your sides and slowly lower it down. I'm only going to about 90 degrees before I lower. I'm not lifting up higher than that. Please keep it at shoulder height, slowly come down. That slow lowering is really important as you go back down against gravity. Next exercise that we'll be doing is a forward raise. So this one, instead of going laterally or out to the side, you're just going to be bringing those straight forward and down. If you find yourself kind of swinging your body back to help get that weight up, number one, it might be too heavy, or you don't have core support, but another way to help give you a little bit more support through the core as you're lifting forwards is you can put your feet in a staggered stance, hold core nice and tight, and then lift those weights up straight in front of you. Third exercise is going to be the overhead press. So first you want to get your weights set up in line with your shoulders so you can bicep curl them up, then you're going to move them out away from you, and then you are going to just press them up overhead and bring them down. Notice that my shoulders do not raise up towards my ears, so if I was doing it incorrectly, it may look like this. So if you see how that space between my ear and my shoulder got smaller, that would be incorrect, and you're using some muscles of your neck to perform this motion then. Make sure that you keep those down. And if you find that you have trouble doing that without shrugging, then lower your weight and that should help. Your fourth exercise is going to be a tricep kickback. So you are going to stagger your legs, put one hand on your front leg. You are going to bend your elbow so it is in line with your torso. And you are going to be straightening your elbow and bending your elbow. Looking at the upper part of my arm, always staying in line with my torso as I complete this movement. And you should feel the muscles working on the back side of the arm. All right, for the next exercise, we're going to be doing a bent over row. This is going to be the same exact position as the tricep kickback, but now you're going to start with your arm straight and down towards your knee, and then you are going to think about bringing the back side of your elbow up towards the ceiling. As you do that, you should squeeze your shoulder blade towards your spine. This is not a movement like this, where I'm just rocking and putting stress through the front of my shoulder. This is truly a movement where I'm trying to pull that shoulder blade in towards my spine, and you should really feel those muscles working on the inside of the shoulder blade here. The next exercise is going to be the bicep curls. So what you are going to do, hold the weights down at your side with your elbows straight, then you are going to bend your elbows and then slowly bring them down. Again, my upper part of my arm is staying in line with my torso as I come up and down. This is not anything where I'm flinging my arms forward. We're staying very stable through the shoulders and only letting the elbows do the movement. Last exercise of your arm circuit is going to be a push-up. Push-ups can be pretty challenging to do if you're not familiar with doing them. Please do a push-up on your knees if that's too difficult, or you can elevate your arms on a surface so that you're doing an incline push-up. That can be easier as well. But I will show you a full push-up, and then I'll show you the modification for on your knees. So when you do a push-up, hands are going to be about shoulder width or a little bit wider apart. Chest is going to be over the top of your wrists. You're not going to be back this way. Butt is going to be down. You are going to Bend your elbows, come down towards the floor, come up, and my elbows are going slightly back. They're not going straight out to the side. And I'm keeping my core tight the entire time and not letting my back arch as I do that. On your knees, same thing. You'll be here, still pulling up at the core. Elbows will still be in the same position, bringing that chest towards the floor. All right, guys, so that concludes all of the exercises of each circuit. I hope you guys found this video really helpful with some good cues on proper form and technique with these things. Again, if you are having any difficulty with these or are somebody who has had recurrent muscle strains, back pain, hip pain, ankle pain, foot pain, please contact me. I know as dancers, we get injured a lot and deal with pain for maybe longer than we should. So I hope that you guys reach out if you are having any of these issues. I'm definitely here to support you, and you have my contact information on the top of this page. Even if you're having difficulty with an exercise, please feel free to reach out. You can email me at any time or give us a call at the clinic. So thank you and have a good rest of your day.